What is up, my friends? Tiana Nicole Burse here, and this is day 2 of my 90-day video challenge. And I touched on the fact that yesterday that this is a bit of a challenge for me, just because 90 days is like, whew, with my schedule. But I wanted to cut this video, and today was a very interesting day that I had. My day was fairly interesting from last night until after the hangout that we had until pretty much today. And I want to touch on something that is so important, not only in your life, but in your business. Now, this comes from my own personal experience. On my journey, I think a lot of people know my story. If you don't know it, I'm going to share this part with you just so you have an idea. Now, obviously, for those who do know my story, you know that I came into the new vocation of traditional network marketing at the very young age of 23. But along the way, I started to pursue my personal passions, which is writing. Created my own magazine called Catalyst Magazine. With that project, with my Catalyst Magazine project, which got into 10,000 people's hands, got me speaking at universities all over Northern California, ended up at a radio station in Philadelphia, and in the magazine, I was teaching people about what I teach right now. It was just in the physical paperback form, basically. But I had a team with me. And the team that I had with me, and I want to make it very clear that some people that come into your lives, they are either aiding and helping you and assisting you to get you to where you want to go, or they're toxic relationships. Or they're toxic relationships. I'll say it again. Or they're toxic relationships. Now, I want to be very honest with everyone and be upfront, because when I was running my business, I was paying for 4 car notes, and I drove 1 car. And so I put myself in a position of vulnerability, meaning that I was dependent somewhat on the group that I had. Now, when the market tanked and I couldn't afford to keep the magazine afloat, I found myself as the last person standing. Again, I found myself as the last person standing. I wasn't mad about that, because along the way, right, your past ends up helping you to become a better person in your present and your future. You see, it's not the destination that matters, but it's the journey that becomes you. You cannot become more unless you go through more junk. You cannot have a testimonial without spelling the word test. You cannot have a positive message without spelling the word mess. I knew all those things along my journey, which got me to this point and why I'm doing this video with you. Along your journey, you're going to encounter some setbacks. You're going to go through the darkest hours of life. I have no problem sharing and spilling out my guts, saying that I feel like, and Les Brown says this all the time in his audios, he says religious people are afraid of going to hell. Spiritual people have already been there. I felt like I've already been through hell and back on my journey, but to give you a very small insight on what I've gone through, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly. In my darkest hour, I wanted to commit suicide. In my darkest hour, I had a bottle of pills in my hand. In my darkest hour, I did not know how to get up and live again. In my darkest hour, I did not know what to do with my life, because I couldn't see with my physical eye what I saw when I closed my eyes, right? They say, I close my eyes to see. I closed my eyes to see my future. I closed my eyes so I can see where I deserve to be and where I deserve to go. And it was by myself. There was two people that stood by my side. My mentor and my mom, my momager. And along the way, they were the ones that said, listen, you can do it. Keep going forward. But I'm here to tell you this. Not all relationships are going to be good relationships for you. Here's what I mean. When I was left as the last person standing, I never, ever wavered in reference to where I deserved to be and where I knew I would go. When everyone left me, and this isn't a woe is me, don't feel sorry for me, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Again, there are some moments in your life where you have to eliminate the toxic people. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be partners, but you have to remove the toxic people that are not assisting and inspiring you to the next level, right? And if they're not receiving what you're giving them from a leadership standpoint, you have to say deuces too. But here's what I'm saying. Everyone now sees the end result of what I had been working on, God, for years. For years. It took me about 18 months, I would say roughly, to be a part of the Sacramento Observer, the newspaper, the longest running newspaper. It took me 18 months to get and have a great rapport now with my editor, who I think is amazing. It took me so long to get with less. It took me so long to get with someone like Marlon C. Smith, the opening act for Tony Robbins. It took me so long to get to that point. And along my journey, when I was in my darkest hours, I had to maintain a positive self-talk to myself. I had to look at myself in the mirror and sell myself on myself, because I'm here to tell you this: when it looks like all is lost, when it looks like there is the darkest and you can't even see the dawn, let alone feel like you're even going towards or moving towards the direction of your goals, it is in those moments where you have to have inspiring people around you to pick you up and lift you up and say you can still keep going. You have to have positive self-talk and a positive relationship with one person that matters, which is yourself. And so I'm here to say this: when people that are your naysayers, when your haters, when the people that didn't believe in you, that left you, when they see what you've done in their physical eye, now you've probably been working on, like my goals, I worked on it for years. For years, no one saw it with their physical eye. I did with my mental state. I saw where I was going. When people of the outside finally see what you've been working on for so many years, they tend to want to come back around. And here's what I'm saying to you in this message. There's a few things that I want to cover and a few things I want you to get out of this as I wrap up. Number one, on your journey, be sure that you have one of the best relationships with yourself. Be your biggest fan. Be the biggest fan you can possibly be of yourself, because if you don't sell yourself on you, no one else is going to believe you. Number two, remove toxic relationships from your life. And if the toxic relationships want to come back in when everything looks like it's going great, it's your job to say, I'm sorry, at the door, I can't do it, because if you've changed and they haven't changed, it's going to be the same behavior. Number three, and one of the most important things, is when things seem that they're at their worst, when it's the darkest and you can't see the dawn, do not quit. Do not quit on yourself. Do not give up your life. Do not quit on your goals. Do not quit on your journey. You keep going forward, because let me tell you right now, you deserve to be great. You have greatness within you. And sometimes you have to go through a bunch of mess to get the right message. And I leave you guys with this. This is day 2 of my 90-day video challenge. And for some of you out there, you haven't seen me this aggressive or you haven't seen me this serious, but this is a part of me that I'm very passionate about what I'm saying to you right now. So receive this information. Receive this information. You deserve to hear this information. You deserve to receive this information. Let me tell you right now. Let me tell you in closing. And this is the honest to God truth. Okay? If you don't buy into your vision and your goals and your life, no one else will. No one else will. And you have to at some point step up and say, I cannot please everyone. I will not please everyone. People will love what I do. They will dislike what I do. They will be disgusted by what I say and what I do, or they will be inspired by what I do. It's not up to you to choose their thought pattern and what they believe in reference to themselves. It's up to you to live on purpose and with your purpose. And let the naysayers nay. Let them be the sheeple, the people that go, bah, come back to reality. Don't feed into that. You, my friends, are lions among sheep. You do not sleep with the sheep. You do not whine with the sheep. You do not complain with the sheep. You're the person. If you're watching this, you're the one who gets up every day and says, I got one more day to give it my all. I got today, because you know what? Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. And today is a gift. It's my gift. That's why they call it the present. I appreciate you. This is day 2 of the 90-day video challenge. I am Tiana Nicole Burse, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Mañana. Bye, guys.